Hey there, fellows. So those who follow us on Instagram are probably in the know. I'm now a gardener, and I've bought me this here tiller, which I'm going to use to, well, till. You might have seen all of that on our stories. Now, some people were actually laughing at me. Like, what's the matter with you, dude? Like, why even bother buying such underpowered equipment? To which I say it's got almost 8 horsepower, and that's good enough for me. But still, some people were like, make one yourself. Well, okay, if that's what this has come down to, then no problem. Someone suggested we try using a Lotta Samara engine to power a tiller trolley. We'll be building one from the ground up, welding a frame, installing the engine. We have a transmission and a clutch, so we got that covered. Then we set up some controls and install some blades. Our end goal is to make an extremely powerful tiller trolley. Let's do this. So have I got some good news for you fellows. Some cool new merch available on our website. Like, for example, these sweet signature hoodies. And the good news doesn't end there. The first 25 people to order these hoodies, we'll be offering them a 25% discount. And don't forget that there's a bunch of other stuff that you can order on our website. T-shirts, baseball caps, mugs, document holders. And we're offering some generous discounts on the entire lineup. And on top of any order you make, we'll throw in one of these stickers on the house. Don't miss your chance to get some merch at discount prices. Hit the link in the video description and grab yourself something. 80 horsepower tiller trolley powered by car engine. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Here's where we're at with this, fellows. With that mighty tiller trolley build of ours. Instead of an odd 8 horsepower, we've now got 80. A slight increase of 10 times. As for how much it weighs, well, that number has also probably increased tenfold. In any case, we've welded up a frame, installed the motor, together with the gearbox. You feel like an actual farmer at the helm of a machine like this. So the gearbox is what'll work as the differential. We're running a standard Lotta gearbox. The shift mechanism is going to be mounted right here, a tiny one. We've shortened both of the axle shafts so that we can mount the blades straight away. We've almost got the cooling system set up. There's the radiator right there. But there is one thing that's really bugging me. The gearbox and the axle shafts are a bit offset, but as it is, the center of mass is pushed forward. That can't be a good thing. We might have to hang some sort of counterweight. And so after we get this thing on wheels and do a bit of testing, we'll need to fit some blades. If I'm being completely honest with you, there are way more questions than we have answers, but so far it's shaping out okay. This is a pretty astonishing tiller trolley we're building. Check out what we've got here. This is one amazing... It's not quite at the point where you can call it a tiller. Isn't it more of a carriage? Or a single-axle tractor? I can't remember what the right word is. It's important to note that we were able to get it properly balanced. There's no apparent bias in either direction. What a tremendous achievement that is. That is a very good thing indeed. But then again, that's how it always goes. And it always happens like that by accident. So the main assembly is mostly complete. This right here is the clutch. See how we set it up? Right here we've got the throttle. It's fitted with a release spring just in case I fall off. Wouldn't want the thing to keep going. From here there's one more thing we need to do, which is hook up a trailer. But first we need to finalize everything, go find the right blades, We're not just looking to ride around in this thing. We'd also really like to try and see if it's any good at tilling. And there's really no way to tell without trying. Alright, let's finish the build and head out for some testing like we always do. That's what we all want to see, right? And this is what we end up with. We've connected the carriage, mounted a seat. This is very much a Garage 54 recipe. Most of this is temporary and makeshift, but you guys know how temporary solutions turn into permanent ones. What matters is the thing works. This is how we had to set up the clutch, but the good thing is that it is very easy to use. And that is pretty awesome. I'm guessing it gets the job done okay, but we'll find that out shortly. And now, first drive time. Oh yeah, almost forgot to show you. You can make this thing go sideways. We doing this? That didn't last long. Did the uni joint fail? I guess so, I don't know. And this is where the first drive ends. After traveling 10 meters, the universal joint, which many people suggested we use. See anything wrong here? Perhaps the joint itself is simply too tiny? Though it looks pretty stout to me. Seems to be a pretty robust uni joint. Still though, we are experiencing difficulties here. We're gonna have to cook up something different. Well, that's what these preliminary tests are for now, aren't they? It's never a good idea to rush straight into action. It just never works out the first time around. But no worries. We'll fix the problem and take another crack at this. Let's carry on. Okay, fellas, we've modified the pivot point. We're still running what's essentially a uni joint, albeit we flipped one side, machined an axis, implanted it, and here's hoping it doesn't crumble. Uni joints are designed to handle some pretty serious stress. There is the possibility it might bind, but we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so we've made it to this field, and now it's time to commence the obligatory testing in the field, before we use it for its primary purpose. Okay, let's tear it up and see how she do. It doesn't behave terribly well when going over ruts. You need to have a firm grip. The handles are really far apart. Oh, then again, I might have been exaggerating. Something tells me... No, I'm pretty sure that's first gear. We're not going too fast. Everything is good. If the road were smoother, this would be even better. But, well, it's all we have. So let's use it. Did I release the handbrake? I did. And that's good. Right. Okay. I've gotten to a really rough patch of road. Time to flip around. It's shaking me up pretty hard. It's hard to steer with the handles so far apart and on a welded diff. But it's doable. It is pretty shaky. I guess I should have let some air out of the tires to make them a bit softer. The trailer is empty anyway. It feels pretty stable. I can't tell you how fast I'm going, but it has to be more than sufficient for a tiller trolley. And now we turn. Looking good. I don't think I've ever seen them go faster. Well, I mean on video I have, never in real life. Honestly, this is my first ever time driving such a machine. These tires are a great thing to have. You can drive into some mud without even a second thought. But oh my god, does it like to hop around. As usual. Screw it. Looks like we're done. Look at what just happened, fellas. It's quite an interesting machine we've made. We immediately identified a couple of issues. It took 3 minutes of driving to learn what needs to be done. It's actually a good thing that these handles are so far apart. Yeah, it's really not that bad of a thing. That allows for applying quite a bit of force when you need to make a turn or flip around. The reason that's a good thing is that, well, say you've got a normal tiller trolley, you know, a small one. The wheels on that would be closer together, which helps make it easier to turn. The wheels share the same axis, so it's basically the same thing as a welded diff. But in our case, we couldn't bring them any closer together because of the powertrain. On top of that, you've got the welded diff. And as a result, getting this thing to turn, it's not that hard on a smooth surface and when you're moving, but on some ruts. The biggest pain was flipping around on the field over those trenches. Now that's where I had a really hard time. This thing was beating the crap out of me, to the point where I was wishing the trailer had leaf springs to up the ride comfort. As for the controls, well, the throttle is quite nice, nothing wrong with it. The clutch lever in its current form, that definitely has to go. Though what matters is the thing drives. And it's not the worst thing to drive, in fact. If there was some mud around here, on these wheels, I'd definitely try driving through. I mean, no matter how you look at it, even with me sitting here, the main center of mass is over there. And though when I'm sitting here I create more load over the rear axle, some of that is transferred to the front as well. So there should be plenty of weight pressing down on it. And with that sort of tread, it should be a real beast in the mud. I think it was starting in 2019 that vehicles such as tiller trolleys began to require a driver's license to operate, believe it or not. So that's an A1 category license. And if your single-axle tractor is able to go over 50 kilometers an hour, you're gonna need to register it as well, and get a set of license plates. And in that case, you'll need to go through tech inspections, and on top of that, you'll need insurance. If it's on plates, you'll need insurance, and to get insurance, you need to go through tech inspection. Does anybody know exactly how this works? Because I'm not that well informed. But hopefully someone can clear this up in the comments for me. Does anybody out there own a tiller trolley that is capable of doing over 50 Ks? Is it registered, and if so, how do all of the legal procedures work? And so there you go. That's all I have for you for the time being. Watch us, subscribe, send in those suggestions. I mean, we might have done something wrong here. If so, let us know. We've never done this before. Guides, suggestions, comments, big thumbs up. All right. Catch you later.